We had Steve O'Donnell go on to Door Bumper Clear this week, and a couple of things got revealed. One thing that got revealed is that next year, NASCAR is looking at doing mandatory 4-tire pit stops for super speedways. That way we don't have all the fuel saving. We don't have all the shit that happens when we see the super speedways at this point, with everybody racing 4 wide but going like 60% throttle or 70% throttle. That's to take that away. And then another thing that they have added, and that's not official. They're thinking about that. That's not official, what I just said right there. Steve O'Donnell said that they are thinking about it pretty much. And then the other thing that is official is that at Talladega here in a couple of weeks, they have shifted the stage lengths. The first stage will actually be 98 laps, and then stages 2 and 3 will be 45 laps each, which I find kind of interesting that they front loaded it instead of back loading it. I did find that quite interesting personally, that they decided to do that. Overall, how do I feel about this? And I'll get the boys' thoughts on this. I'm not big on. I think both of these solutions, honestly, I think both of these solutions are very lazy solutions. It doesn't require any work, and it makes the TV happy. And that's just the way I look at both of these decisions. The stages decision, I think I'm a little bit more fond of than the mandatory 4-tire pit stop decision, because I don't think anybody should have to make a. At that point, I'd say just do what ARCA does and just have the field frozen and make the pit stops in like 5 minutes or something. If you're gonna do that, might as well do the ARCA way of doing things, because that would be a lot safer and a lot easier. Might as well just do that, right? It would save more money too. So I'm not really fond of. I like where their mind is at. I like where their NASCAR's head is at. We want to get rid of this fuel saving. I just think they're going about it in a very lazy way, when I think there's a lot better ways to fix the racing other than changing up the stages or making a mandatory 4-tire pit stop. But one of these things might end up fixing it. I'm not going to say it's not going to fix it. I just think there's a better way to really go about it. Personally, there's stuff that they can do with the car, with the tires. There's certain things that they could do. I want to get Cory's opinion on this, because I think Cory has probably a pretty decent opinion on this. Cory, how are we feeling about both of these things? Potentially mandatory 4-tire pit stops plus the changes in the stages to Talladega.
No, I don't like it. I think step one should have been just get rid of stage cautions and see what
Thank
that
you.
does for it. And then after that, maybe experiment with this type of stuff. The mandatory 4-tire pit stops, I understand the logic there, because then people aren't trying to fuel save, because no matter what, you're going to have to take 4 tires and it's just the fastest pit stop. That makes sense. But imagine, like, I feel like explaining that to a new fan, like, oh yeah, here they have to change 4 tires. They don't do it any other racetrack, but here they have to change 4 tires, is so dumb. Like, how
It's
far
stupid.
down this rabbit hole are we gonna go to like make the racing better and stop fuel saving? Like, dude, NASCAR could literally just go out there and I don't know. I'm not obviously they wouldn't do this, but like, you'll be fined if you're fuel saving. You just race. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just so dumb. It's so dumb. They could do something different. I don't like it. The mandatory 4 tires I get. I think that's like the last option. But yeah, I don't know. I even with the 45, 45 and longer stage 3, like, you're telling me teams aren't going to save gas for 10 laps and then pit before the caution and then jump the field? Like, like, I mean, I don't know. I still don't see it benefiting the way they think it will.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work per se or not. And I agree 100% with you. They should have just removed the stage cautions. But like I said before, the reason they're not doing that is because of TV. TV is not, they want those guaranteed commercial break slots in certain spaces. That way they're able to sell it to companies. It's just all about the bottom line. It's all about the almighty dollar. That's what it's really all about, not necessarily about the racing. And I think that's where a lot of my displeasure with these potential decisions has me upset. And then with the stages, I just find I had to double check it, and I think and you mistaked yourself right there, Cordy, because I had to double triple check it myself. But the long stage for Talladega is the first stage. I don't really get that. The first stage is going to be the long. I don't understand. Just remove the stage breaks. Have the stages, get the points, remove the cautions. But TV is just not gonna be down for that. That's why I think this is a lazy. It could fix it. I'm not saying it can't fix it. It can't. I'm not saying it can't fix the fuel saving. But if they do fix the fuel saving, it's a really lazy, half-ass bullshit way of doing it when they could do it in so many other ways that would actually make the racing better. That would actually improve the product that we see on TV, but instead we just want to make TV more money and make them happier. And I'm not for that. I'm just not. Tyler,
I didn't even I
what's
didn't
up?
even know stage 3 was the shorter one. How dumb is that for the
Yeah,
entire race?
they want a
The most
shootout.
important stage is the shortest stage, or
Yeah, they
it's
want.
tied for the shortest stage. That's so dumb.
Yeah, because they want a shootout. They want that. They want to be able to show that for TV. It's like when we're coming back, we're gonna start the last stage, and it's a 40-lap shootout. Like that's the whole idea behind it. They want to create a shootout at the end. They want to make it more entertaining for the fans when overall it doesn't make it more entertaining for the fans. It just really degrades the product in my opinion. But Tyler, how do we feel about both of these? One of them being a potential decision with the 4-tire mandatory pit stop, and then one thing we know for sure is going to happen at Talladega here in a couple weeks, where the first stage will be 98 laps, and then stages 2 and 3 will be 45 laps each. But by the time they end up finishing the caution and the pace laps, will end up being like 40 laps. How do we feel about all that?
They're trying to give you a shootout because they already know that it's being ruined by doing the stages. Unfortunately, TV pays our bills. So unless we
Yep.
want TV to go away and us not have NASCAR anymore, we're pretty much going to do what they want us to do. I think they should come up with better ways to do it. I mean, obviously, there's a way to pay the bills and not have commercial breaks. Look at F1 and these other sports that never have a commercial break in the middle of their entire race. So I mean, I can't tell you how to make that happen. Obviously, we're in deep with the TV people and all that crap. So obviously, I don't think NASCAR is ever going to get out of that. But they definitely need to find a different way, because if this is what we're doing, this ain't the way.
This isn't the way. I would agree. It's not. Like I said, it could end up answering our question on how we fix super speedway racing. It very well could, but it's the wrong way to go about it, and it overall doesn't put the product to the top. It's not going to be the best racing product we could potentially see in this car at super speedways. And I think there's many ways, like removing the stage cautions. I've heard a lot of discussion about the tires, make these cars more difficult to drive at the super speedways, make the tires actually have a little fall off on the super speedways, because at that point we might potentially have what we used to have at Daytona and Talladega, even before the pack racing, where we had just cars loosey goosey all around the racetrack, and where it was actually really difficult to drive, and these guys were on edge every lap. So I think there's a lot of things that they could potentially do to improve the racing, but they're going to skip all over all that stuff, because some of that stuff costs money, and the scenario that they have picked is going to earn them money. So it's all about money. Tyler's 100% right. Tyler is right with the TV. The TV, if TV wants it, we're probably going to do it. It's just how it is, unfortunately. It's just how it is with the way NASCAR and the business product that NASCAR has right now. We're still not too far off of the 2311 Front Row Motorsports case. So we're not feeling a lot of the after effects of that yet, I would say. Hopefully we begin to feel some of that stuff, begin to change the sport a little bit over time, because right now this is just kind of ridiculous in my opinion. It's all kind of ridiculous. Like I said, though, I like where NASCAR's head is at. They are aware of the fuel saving. They want to get rid of the fuel saving in any way they can, but they're not using any way they can. They're just doing this sort of stuff because it could potentially fix their problem, but at the same time, it keeps TV happy. So they're trying to make everybody win. So I'm not going to fault NASCAR too bad, because they're trying to have everybody win. They want the TV to win. They want the fans at home to win. They want the fans in the stands to win. But I don't know if all of them are going to be able to win. I don't know if that's going to be possible with this sort of scenario. But let us know your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about them potentially doing a mandatory 4-tire pit stop for all super speedways in 2027? And then how do we feel about the updated stages for Talladega here in a couple of weeks?